Hi, this is Karen Kubicko, and welcome to the first module on past life regression, how it can help you have that deep inner transformation. So when we came here into this earth experience, we had an initial first past life. And in that lifetime, we chose to come here to help our entire soul collective. That means everyone here in this entire earth experience is being helped because you chose to have a lifetime here. The point of it is for us all to collectively remember who we are on a soul level, because then we know we're here to love one another, to find peace within, to love ourselves even more, and to reclaim our soul level skills. And this is you taking a big step to understand who you really are as a spiritual being. What is past life? What is reincarnation? So let's talk about that. A past life is the understanding that you've had multiple lifetimes, because you're a spiritual being coming here to this earth experience to learn and grow on a soul level through all of your past lifetimes. Each time you come down here, you have worked with one of your spirit guides to help you pick out, choose, and to learn something and to grow on a very deep soul level. People often expect that they're going to be in some deep altered state when you are remembering a past lifetime. Sometimes people call it hypnosis. Sometimes people call it a guided meditation. That's my word choice personally. But it is the same. It is the theta state. The theta state is a brainwave state that your brain goes into on an everyday basis. It is focused concentration. An example would be if you are in the middle of reading a book, so deeply engrossed in reading the book that someone taps you on the shoulder and you're like, ah! And you jump out of your chair. That is you in the theta state. Or if you're driving down the road and you get home and 20 minutes later, you're like, wow, I don't even remember that 20-minute drive. That was you in the theta state. Because you're so highly focused on what it is that you're doing, you don't even recognize that time is passing. It might happen when you're so engrossed in watching a movie too. That's another great example. You also go into the theta state right upon waking up in the morning and right before you fall asleep at night. It's no different when you get in that relaxed, easy, chill state. That's the theta state. But when you're in that deep, highly focused of concentration state, the theta state, the meditative state, a hypnotic state, that allows yourself to remember and go anywhere you want to go to remember a past lifetime. But the cool part is that you're going to still be completely aware and remember everything that you've experienced. You're going to be aware that you're laying on your bed, on your couch, in your easy chair, whatever it is that you've chosen to be comfortable for your experience. You're going to be aware that you're still in your room. The light or the sun might be shining on your face. It's all going to be in your awareness, and at the same time, information coming through for your past life experience. But what if you fall asleep? Well, you got really relaxed. So sometimes that happens, especially if you're listening to a guided meditation. Don't give up. You might just have needed a little nap. Try it again. Sometimes it takes a lot of practice to get to the point where you're not falling asleep. Maybe work on trying to get more sleep at night so you're not so tired when you're trying to remember a past lifetime and listening to that guided meditation. Because it is lulling and it does make you feel sleepy, That theta state, if you remember, is just that moment before you start to actually fall completely asleep. So allowing yourself to still be consciously aware of the information that I'm saying during that guided meditation to help you stay in the present and focused on that meditation to keep you into the experience. Use all of your senses, but you might use a few of them. It's up to whatever you're comfortable with doing. You might have images coming to you through way of actually seeing things, maybe getting a feeling that something is around, just a knowing of what's going on around you, or you might smell things baking. The whole immersion within a past life is so very interesting. One of the most important things that people ask me about is, how do you know if I'm really remembering a past lifetime? How do I know I'm not just making this up? All those details are part of that importance of understanding that. Where would you get that information? Especially if you're coming up with details and understandings of something from a past time that there is no earthly reason in this current lifetime that you would even know that information. But you Googled it real quick, and lo and behold, it is fact. That specific type of thing was worn back then. Those kinds of things were talked about in those times. This date that I randomly got in my head was exactly when X or Y or Z happened in that past lifetime. So all those facts and things, where does that come from? It's coming from you, your deep memories of your past life. So when you're remembering a past lifetime, it's so important to pay attention to all the details. You might have some information come through to you that seems inconsequential at the time whenever you're remembering a past life. Let's say, for example, there's a painting hanging on the wall. You might not think anything of it. You happen to see it and notice it when you're remembering a past lifetime. But interestingly, you might notice that same painting in a museum hanging, or you might notice that same type of style you've collected because you had such a fondness for that particular painting. Or you might recognize that maybe one of your past family members painted that painting special just for you, and that brought such love for you in your heart. So those things that might seem, I just saw this painting hanging on the wall, you might begin to notice those small little details are very important. So something to consider when you're remembering a past life. What's very interesting and often happens so much, emotion is involved. People have tears streaming down their face, and those emotions are connected to the people that they knew, the experiences that they were going through at the time, the emotion that's connected with that entire experience, that memory of that past lifetime is very important because the emotions really connect to the reality of that past lifetime. That's not something you can just imagine. So emotions are another telltale sign that you are actually remembering a past lifetime, especially when there's people involved that you're seeing or are aware of around you, and you have that deep connection, whether you just love them or feel so much compassion for them, and there's no connection to this current lifetime. So one of the things that people talk often about with a past life regression is catharsis. Catharsis is healing. Healing simply because you've been able to remember something from another time, whether it's this current lifetime, maybe you as a child had a trauma of some kind, and you can look back on it, reframe it, understand it from a different perspective now that you're older and more mature, and understand the entire situation to help you heal from it. It's no different from a past lifetime. Let's say, for example, you have felt like you have been abandoned in this current lifetime. You go back into a past lifetime and you recognize that your parents had left you behind and never came back for you. And now let's pretend that you've remembered a lifetime where you're at the age of 10 and you felt so abandoned, so much so that it might have caused you to pass away or to become homeless, and you have no understanding of why your parents left you. However, when you remember a past lifetime, you get to understand something happened to your parents. They were detained. They were themselves killed. Maybe there was a war situation going on and they were protecting you and you had no idea. You left that lifetime because you felt abandoned, brought that forward into this current lifetime. But now, since you were able to remember that lifetime, the simple act of you understanding that entire situation helped you heal on a very deep level. That's catharsis. You know, what's really cool about understanding your own past lifetimes is that you start to begin to realize you travel from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime with a special group of people, your soul group. Your soul group might include those who are in your family, your close friends, even people that you've had very deep, meaningful relationships with. I'll bet you've had other lifetimes with them more often than not. That's part of your soul group. And this special group of people help you learn and grow on a very deep soul level. They help you learn lessons. They help you understand all the things that you chose to learn on the other side before you came here into this life. Now, there might be clues that you've had a past lifetime. Without even having a past life regression, these are just clues that will help you understand that you've definitely had a past lifetime. And if you haven't already done it, I have a free downloadable PDF workbook with a link that's currently on this page as well, of 10 different ways that you can recognize that you've had clues and signs of your own past lifetimes. The 10 clues are: deja vu. Maybe you've gone to a historical place or a city that you've never been to and you feel at home there, or you get information that you're not exactly sure where that's coming from, but you got that deja vu feeling, that deja vu sensation. Or you've remembered a dream where it was very historical and you might have been in old time clothes or driving a long ago car, or find yourself in a horse and buggy and it was so realistic in your dream you woke up wondering, wow, was that real? Because it felt very real. That might be a past life memory in your dream. Another clue of one of your past lifetimes is when you instantly bond with somebody. You don't know why, but you feel like you've known them forever. And it might have been the first time you met them in this lifetime, but you probably, no doubt, have had many lifetimes with them before, especially if it's a good, solid, nice connection. Another way that you have clues that you've had past lifetimes is when you just really hate something. You just don't know why. You don't like it. You are like, no, get it out of my face. I won't eat that. I won't go there. I won't do that. No. Why? If there's no earthly reason in this current lifetime, then the only connection could be that you've had an instance in a past lifetime where that food, that thing, that whatever caused your death, caused you to be sick, hurt somebody else that you cared about. And now in this current lifetime, you're like, no, I don't want any part of that. Another clue that you have had a past life is where you just adore a particular city or particular time period or some type of object of some kind, you just love it. So like for me, I love Paris. I've loved that place since I was a kid. I'm talking small child kid. And I grew up in a place in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania where we weren't going to Paris to visit. I just loved it. I wanted to learn the language. I mean, I'm in grade school. I wanted to learn everything about Paris. I collected fleur-de-lis. I figured out how to say some words. I mean, I just loved it. Why? There is no reason for that in this current lifetime. So I wonder, do you have a place, a time period, or a particular object that you have such an affection for? That's another clue that is connected to one of your past lifetimes. But then how do you explain a fear? So let's say, for example, you have a fear of murky water or even the ocean. Or maybe you have a fear of snakes or cats. Fear of having something around your neck. So there are people that won't wear shirts or turtlenecks or jewelry that is high and close to their neck. Why do you think that is? Sometimes it is directly connected to a past lifetime. Now, this is when you have nothing in this current life that could explain that, right? You've had no issue with the water when you were a small child, or you didn't have an instance where something really hurt you around your neck. None of that happened in this current lifetime. It's unexplainable. Then when you delve into a past lifetime, you might find that you passed in some kind of way. Often when people have neck things, stuff that they just don't want around their neck, they've been hung or the guillotine, something like that came up, or shot there, something in their neck area. So in this current lifetime, there's some residual energy left behind from that trauma from the past life that's still affecting them in this current lifetime. When you remember that, then you have the catharsis we talked about earlier, and you are releasing that connection. But that's a clue. You've had another lifetime that this is connected in whatever comes up for you. An interesting sign that you've lived a past life would be having strong emotional reactions while visiting historic places. Maybe you've been wandering around a historic place. Maybe it's a castle. Maybe it's a fort. Maybe it's some field where they had a battle, or any other place that has some kind of historical nature. Even like an old Roman village, or even a beautiful monument or building that was put up a long, long time ago. But you step into this historical place and it feels very familiar. Or you might have a sense of sadness, some kind of loss. Or you might be so excited to be there, you just feel such inner joy, you don't want to leave, and you want to keep coming back there again and again and again. Some of it can be very overwhelming because you're having reactions when you visit a historical place. It's such validation that you must have had some emotional experience connected to a past life when you visit these types of places. Another way that you can find out clues of your own past lifetimes is through your own meditation. So I have had people that have come to me and they've sat in just silence and allowed just whatever information to come to them through meditating. And that's another type of way to do it versus a guided meditation. Or they've listened to guided meditations before and they've had information come through that was intense, and the vision and the experience was so visceral that they were just like, oh my gosh, this has to be real. You know, they have remembered another snippet or some part of a past lifetime of theirs. So that's another way you can find clues to your past lifetimes. One of my favorite clues is birthmarks or other marks that are present at birth. And if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll find some that I show some really old pictures of myself for a birthmark I used to have. But birthmarks are almost always a connection to a past life death. And so if you are someone that happens to have a weird mark or a birthmark on your body that's been there your whole life, I'll bet you if you delve in deep enough and you ask to have that as your intent for a past life, if you're ready to remember that trauma, because usually that's a trauma related past life, then that information will come to explain exactly how you received that birthmark. Birthmarks have been studied. A couple people out there who do some serious scientific research specifically on the connection of birthmarks and someone who's remembered a past lifetime. A sign that you've had a past lifetime are relationship patterns. Now, these are not easy to recognize. You might not get it straight away, but you picked this lifetime, you picked your parents, you picked your family, and all of the stuff that you've gone through to learn and grow on a soul level. So what are you trying to learn? Are you trying to learn how to speak out, to stand your ground, to learn how to be independent, to learn how to be so creative in this lifetime? What are you trying to learn in this lifetime? When it is a relationship pattern, you have, especially whenever it's been a very difficult upbringing, your parents might have been very hard on you or even abusive, alcoholics, something like that might have come up for you in this current lifetime. Why did you choose those parents? Did you want to learn how to be independent? It might be connected with another lifetime where you didn't get the chance to learn that lesson. Or you picked a lifetime where you were not permitted to speak or to speak out, to express in any kind of way. Maybe in a past lifetime you were inhibited to speak as well and died trying to speak out. So in this current lifetime, you've chosen those parents, those experiences, because now you're going to put your foot down and speak out, say what you want to, write that book, whatever it is that you'd like to do that you might not have gotten the chance to learn and understand in another lifetime. Now's your opportunity. So those are the ways that you can find clues in this current lifetime that you've had a past life. Again, if you want to download that workbook, you're welcome to. I have that link on the page with all the links for this class and course. Taking this step to inner transformation is proof that you have the courage deep within to grow and to learn on a soul level. So now's your chance to write down whatever clues have been shown to you, come up, received as intuitive knowledge, visions, deja vu, whatever it is. It's your opportunity right now to write those down to help you recognize that you've been given clues over your entire life to your own past lifetimes. Thanks for being here. Thanks for choosing to delve deep within your inner knowledge and understanding your deep inner memories to help grow and to transform on a soul level. Get ready for the next module. It's the most important one. Don't skip it. It's so important. It will help you in so many aspects of your whole life beyond just remembering a past lifetime. Trusting your intuition. It's so important when you're remembering a past life, but guess what? It can help you at any time, all day, every day, in your job, in your daily life, whatever. So when you're ready, click on that next module and learn all about trusting your intuition.